see and they jump on it and say, I would like to work on that.
Yeah.
Where do you think that's going to go?
Well, ideally, we're going to have something like you just mentioned. Something like a forum where people can submit to, and we have an ongoing flow of submissions and pitches on that forum. And then we have everyone. As long as everyone is following that forum, then projects will be assigned.
Right.
When things start getting really bumpy, and there's lapses in time where people are like, I've wanted a composer for a month now and I can't find anyone, then that's maybe a reason that you contact one of us and we recommend you to someone. We'll give you someone's email. Something like that. And then there's also going to be a mailing list, and we're going to separate that into, composers and stuff like that. So, yeah, hopefully, the interactiveness between all of you is what we're really going for. It's not supposed to be us telling you what to do. You say, this is my idea. I really want original music for it. This is kind of what I have in mind, mood-wise, theme-wise. This is kind of where I'm going with this project. Composer sees that, they say, ooh, I want to get involved on that project because that sounds like my type of music. That sounds like the music I like to write. So that's what we're kind of going for initially. That might change. That might change over time, given how things pan out with this whole thing. But right now, that's kind of what we established. Okay? Awesome. Anyone else before we go on? Okay. So, important point that I want to talk about. The world we live in at Ithaca College and our bubble here. First, the world we want to live in and why we are doing this, trying to bridge the gap, because there is a distinct gap. Would you all agree that there's a big gap? Yeah, so I think why I started something like this is because I didn't want to wait to try to figure that out once I graduated. So I think going through this whole process and learning about this stuff before we graduate, even though we're not necessarily taught this stuff, I think is super important, because the narrower that we can, get that gap, the more prepared we're going to be to deal with this when we graduate. Because we're all thinking about what we want to do when we graduate, and your head's spinning, you're trying to get a job, but then once you get your hands on a project and you're directing a great film, you have to think about the music too, because this is the real world. If you want real music, then that's something to think about. So, bridging the gap, I'm saying, I think this is just a really important thing, and I think this organization will totally help with that. Just kind of putting everyone's mind in, put everyone in perspective that, this is how things are kind of supposed to run. This is how the process kind of works, rough process. I don't know exactly how it works in the real world. It's always different. Every project is very different, which is why this is also good, because there are a lot of projects coming in and out. Every single one is different. Everyone's going to have a different experience, but everyone will have an experience. Does that make sense? Cool. So, yeah, go on. Okay, so thinking collaboratively. I mentioned collaboration, at the start of this meeting. I think that is the most important thing that we can look to for Ithaca Movie Music, is collaborating with each other. We're bringing everyone together so they can collaborate. We're bringing everyone together so there's ideas flowing. So when you're go to meet someone and you just can't stop talking for 8 hours straight because ideas are just coming back and forth, and you have your perspective, they have their perspective. That's the collaboration we're trying to get to. That's the collaboration that I think this can evoke from all of you once the proper parties are involved. When everyone gets involved and the directors are meeting with the producers who are meeting with us engineers, meeting with the composer, that group of people, that's the real world. These guys get together and they talk about what they want to accomplish in the film with the music. What they want the music to do, how they want the music to make people feel, stuff like that. So collaboration, I think, is a big thing, and I think if you want to collaborate with musicians and composers through this, I think it's a great idea. So keep that in mind. Next slide. Sound picture on a larger scale. So this is kind of just this year. Ithaca Movie Music, don't be fooled by the word music in Ithaca Movie Music. This isn't just music anymore, which is cool. It definitely, a big part of it is music, but also we're kind of trying to integrate other elements of audio and film for you guys, because audio and film is a huge realm of audio that a lot of us people at the music school don't really get our hands on much. So we're thinking in terms of Foley, we're thinking in terms of sound design and sound effects, ADR, stuff like that. I know Marlena she's great with ADR stuff, right? So I'm hoping that she can get involved too, maybe come in and do a guest lecture for stuff like that. But if people are not so much interested in the music side and they want to get interested, or they want to get involved with sound design on someone's film, if someone's looking for someone to just be a dialogue editor or a Foley editor, there are Foley artists. Keegan was my Foley artist 2 weeks ago, and we spent 2 hours walking around with shoes on like this, and now we have what? Sorry. And shooting guns. But yeah, so just think, music right now isn't the only thing that we have involved in this. So if there's something else that you guys are interested in, don't hesitate to ask us. Even if that doesn't fall into that list that I just mentioned, if there's stuff that you're thinking about that we don't do yet, contribute. Just throw that idea in there. Maybe put it up on the Facebook page and say, listen, I'm trying to do this for a film. What do you guys think? Is this a feasible achievement? Is this a feasible idea that I have? So keep that in mind if you guys are thinking about stuff like that. But yeah, let's go on. Where are we? Okay, so opportunities for the enthusiast. Okay, so because there's a new educational branch, the people that are involved in this aren't just going to be musicians, aren't just going to be composers, and they're not, it's not just going to be that pre-professional group that we have involved. There are going to be people that just like film music, I'm hoping, that are coming to this stuff too. If you like listening, if you like films, come to this stuff. It's interesting to learn about, that side of the film. It's interesting to learn about the music and the sound design. Why does it work in this scene? So I'm saying it's not just for directors and musicians. This group is to be a campus-wide organization to inspire those interested in film music. So what else is going on? I mentioned guest lectures, seminars, regular meetings, pitch meetings, and extra student screenings already. I'm thinking guest lectures probably will be held in the halls over at Whalen. Seminars. In terms of seminars, I don't think I've really mentioned that yet. What we'd like to do is have everyone together, people throw in ideas for films they like, pick out a couple scenes and pick them apart. Why does, we love music and film, all of us, so it's like, that's what we do, that's what we're going through with this whole process, but at the same time, when we jump over to this branch of the group, we're learning about why that music works and stuff like that. I'm kind of just reiterating stuff that I've already said. But at seminars, I think that's the type of thing we're going to try to do. Mostly there will be food all the time. So I think there should be pizza getting here soon. So 6 minutes apparently. And hopefully you guys are hungry because I got like 7 pizzas.
Time carry out.
Cool. So yeah, you can go to the next slide. All right. So keep yourself in the loop. I already mentioned stay updated with the Facebook and the Twitter. And I'd like to get your feedback on something with this forum thing that I was talking about before. I think it's going to be a good way for composers to kind of find all the pitches that they're looking for. Maybe, kind of allocate. Maybe this is the film that this is the film I want to work on, so I'll contact this person. So should we try to create some type of forum thing where you, as directors, can post to and say, this is my pitch, this is my idea, this is my email, get in contact with me if this is a project you're interested in working on? Is that an okay idea?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll try to get something together like that. For now, put them on the Facebook and stuff like that. Just post to the wall, and hopefully people can jump on it that way. But yeah, that should work. And I think that's also going to be a good thing for musicians to jump to also, is that they see these pitches. Maybe that's a project that I'm interested in playing on. So if you're a musician, then you can refer to these pages as well and see kind of what's going on, and then from there maybe contact the composer and say, hey, I see you're interested in working on this project. Could I play that? Could I play that for you? So stuff like that is also important. Next slide. Cool. So yeah, just kind of a closing little thing. It's going through the process of creating an impressionable film score is tough, but hopefully this group of people, I know there are a lot of people that couldn't be here tonight, which is unfortunate, but hopefully that this group will kind of help with networking everyone together, bringing everyone together, and getting these projects done. Something that I didn't mention before was for composers, thinking about instrumentation and who you want, involved within the score. I think that's something that needs to be established soon after you get in contact with the director, stuff like that. So if those are questions, feel free to email and stuff like that. for composers. But yeah, I think, is that it? Okay, cool, that's it. So next, I think Jackson had a couple things to show you guys. He's going to show you a couple clips from works that have been done through the group. So,
Yep.
to Jackson. Thank
Okay.
you.